laughing with each other, discussing, how to solve this terrorism that is a threat for the rest of the world.
Sheikha Moza is well known for her major contributions to Qatar's social and economic success.
Behind the public gestures and reassurance, something is wrong at the Qatari Palace. A silent war is stirring among rivals. What's their point of contention? It is a fight for power, wealth, ambition, and relevance among the people of Qatar. The magnificent Sheikha Moza has taken a role as leader for many years. However, her daughter-in-law, Sheikha Jawaher, seems to want an end to her reign. What could be happening? Why are the Emir's 4 wives against Sheikha Moza? Let's find out. The power tussle. This rivalry has been going on for years, unending. Though the Qatar royalties say all is well when they make public appearances, what goes on behind the scenes is the opposite. There's been a contentious battle between the wives of Qatar's Emir and his mother, Sheikha Moza. One of the people standing against the Queen is Sheikha Jawaher, the First Lady of Qatar and the Emir's first wife. Perhaps she has a reason to hold a grudge against Moza. When people think about the First Lady of Qatar, the name that comes to mind is Sheikha Moza, who ruled with her husband before passing the baton to her son, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. The legendary queen may no longer be in charge, but she remains an important figure in Qatar. Her involvement with leadership has placed some people in the back seat. One of these people is the current First Lady. Who is Sheikha Jawaher? Is she content in her marriage? Does she have plans against the other wives? Can Jawaher outsmart her mother-in-law to secure the throne for her son? Or will Moza's leadership remain undisturbed? Many believe Jawaher finds it difficult to get along with her mother-in-law, as she is a threat to the reign of her son's future reign in Qatar. How did the royal family get here? Who are the other wives, and how are they dealing with the powerful Moza as their mother-in-law? We'll help you find answers to these questions and uncover the battles ongoing in the Al Thani family. Stay tuned. The 4 wives. Beyond the Emir's role in politics, his rich bond with world power nations, and unwavering character, what really takes the attention of many is his family. People have become interested in the personal life of the Emir, as they sense a silent battle blooming behind closed doors. Sheikh Tamim's Islamic religion permits him to marry about 4 wives, and he wasted no time in exercising this right. He also has other unnamed concubines in his home. The Emir has 4 beautiful wives, and each of them plays a pivotal role in the royal palace. However, one woman stands out from the rest, Sheikha Jawaher bint Hamad bin Suhaim Al Thani, the first woman in the Emir's life. She was born in 1984 in Doha. She married Sheikh Tamim, her cousin, at 20 years old and began a life-changing journey. At the time of marriage, Sheikh Tamim was still the crown prince. She married Sheikh Tamim, her cousin, at 20 years old. Then, he was still the crown prince. After their union in 2005, she became his most visible wife. It was an arranged marriage by their parents, who wanted to form an alliance. As the First Lady, she's been involved in several royal duties and public events in Qatar and across the world. She was with him on his visit to Prince Charles in Buckingham Palace. Despite being the public face of Qatar, she rarely performs public duties. Could it be because she hasn't earned the trust of her mother-in-law? Sheikha Moza might be holding back on letting Jawaher take public functions as expected of her. It could only mean one thing. The queen consort does not want to. You can imagine how Jawaher feels about this. In the eyes of everyone, she seems to be in control. But behind the scenes, there's a lot more unraveling. The Emir also doesn't mind his mother's position on restraining his First Lady. Remember, their marriage wasn't about love, but convenience and political power. It's why Jawaher stays on her toes. Can she win the trust of her mother-in-law after years of trying to prove her loyalty? Sheikh Tamim's second marriage was to his second cousin, Sheikha Al-Anud bint Mana Al-Hajri, on the 3rd of March, 2009. She is the daughter of Mana bin Abdul Hadi Al-Hajri, Qatar's previous ambassador to Jordan. Her family is one of the most influential families in Qatar. However, the Emir wasn't after the prominence of her father. He married her for love. Unlike Jawaher, Al Anod was his one true love. They have 5 children together, 3 daughters and 2 sons. The third woman in the Emir's life is Sheikha Noura bint Hathal al-Dosari. Do you wonder how he met his new wife? Did he stop loving Al Anod? What could have happened? If you were thinking that Moza had a hand in Tamim's third marriage, you are right. His mother chose Noura as his wife. Their marriage took place on the 25th of February, 2014. Before Noura married the Emir, she worked as a journalist with Al Jazeera. She had no interest in letting go of her career for a royal wedding. After a while, the adamant journalist gave in and became the wife of Qatar's Emir. They have 4 children together. Sheikha Noura enjoys a quiet life and loves to keep a low profile. She has few public appearances, and there is hardly any information about her in public. Some people find it strange that she completely let go of her life as a public figure to reside in the palace. Do you think it was a choice to quit her career? Or did Sheikha Moza influence her to do so? Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani took his 4th wife and cousin, Sheikha Aisha Al Thani. Like Noura, she was chosen for the Emir and had no say in her marriage. This time, it wasn't Moza who planned their marriage but her husband, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani. He thought his son couldn't choose for himself and made his preferred choices. Sheikha Aisha wasn't laid back like most of Tamim's wives. She used to grace the elite parties and red carpet events. But all that changed after her entrance into Qatar's royal family. There were reports that Moza stopped her from engaging in such frivolities. She also has children with the Emir and weirdly has no public appearance since marriage. It seems these women all have something in common. They seem hidden from the world. Could this mean something? Are they happy in their marriage to the Emir? Is there a fight for power amongst the wives? How are they navigating their relationship with Sheikha Moza? Although Jawaher's situation seems better than the others, could she also be experiencing the same fate as them behind closed doors? In her public appearances, she keeps a clean and fashionable style. Her union with the Emir looks flawless. At a glance, you can tell Sheikha Jawaher lives in elegance. But is it really her reality? It's normal to face strife in polygamous settings. Can you imagine how the prestigious Al Thani family is dealing with this reality? Jawaher and the other wives are trying to show their best behavior and influence. It's a real struggle for power and recognition. The Emir's wives know that one of their sons will be picked as the future leader of Qatar. Though no one understands the criteria behind this selection, Sheikh Tamim Al Thani's wives are not leaving their fate to chance. Jawaher has 4 heirs ready for the throne, just like the others. It's why she's chosen not to take chances. Her role as the First Lady gives her an advantage over the others, who seem to have gone extinct since entering the royal family. Jawaher has to be perfect, flawless, and without flops. She has built a public image that keeps her in the memory of people. One of the ways she has tried to make an impression is her unwavering support for the Emir. She goes out of her way to speak of his good reputation in global events. Jawaher wants one of her sons as the future heir when Tamim finally makes his choice. The First Lady is already making plans for her son, Hamad, to take over, and the other wives can see this. They also believe their children can be future heirs. This is the cause of the silent battle in the Emir's household. There have been reports that Jawaher seems to be taking the lead in this battle, as she's been working on plans to strengthen her influence in the palace and among prominent members of the royal family. Could Sheikha Moza be one of these people? Can the First Lady get the Queen Consort on her team? What price does she have to pay to win Moza's affection and approval? Despite Jawaher's plots to take out the other wives, they have stood their ground and have chosen to fight back. They believe the battle isn't over and can still secure positions of influence for their preferred heirs. How do you think this will end? Will one of the wives gain more control than Jawaher? Or could they all be working together to take down Moza? Why is there so much attention paid to Moza? Why is she so influential in Qatar's royal palace when she is not the Emir? Who is she? let's have a look at one of the greatest forces in Qatar. The Emir's mother, Sheikha Moza bint Nasser al-Misnad, was born on the 8th of August 1959. She is the wife of the previous Emir of Qatar. Moza was also one of the 3 consorts to the Emir. With the demise of her husband, she had to toughen up and take the front role. Since then, she has been a force to reckon with. Moza is also the mother of Sheikh Tamim, the present Emir and Qatar's head of state. She isn't just a member of the royal family, she is an asset to the country. The Queen Consort has always been driven and committed to growth and change. The Guardian had a beautiful line for her contributions. They called her the enlightened face of a profoundly conservative regime, and she represents one of the world's most suppressed families and kingdoms. She is more than meets the eye. Sheikha Moza is a Qatari native who spent her childhood in Egypt and Kuwait. Her father was in exile after opposing the regime, so they had no business with Qatar until 1977, when Moza married Hamid, who was just a member of the Qatar royal family. Moza had always loved knowledge. Her father's passion for learning while in exile motivated her to gain an MA in Public Policy and Islam from Hamad bin Khalifa University after a previous education at Qatar University in 1986. She has been awarded honorary doctorates from prestigious universities, including Georgetown University, Virginia Commonwealth University, and Texas A&M University. Sheikha Moza is a woman with big dreams. She always makes big strides. Before her marriage into Qatar's royal family, the 65-years-old had dreams of becoming a doctor. Today, she has impacted global communities. She also gained recognition as one of Forbes' 100 most powerful women. Her several impacts on global economic challenges have not gone unnoticed. She co-founded the largest state-owned nonprofit organization in her country. Through the Qatar Foundation, she has created change in ways the previous consort never attempted. Her foundation has placed a necessity on education in Qatar and helped establish campuses from Georgetown University and the U.S. Weill Cornell Medical College. Despite the demise of her husband and the reign of her son as the new Emir, Moza continues to shine. She has gotten global recognition from the elite and government personalities. Could this be why Sheikha Jawaher makes several plots against her? Does Qatar's First Lady find it hard to keep up with the records of her mother-in-law? Does she feel overshadowed by her? Sheikha Moza is one of the most elegant women in the world, and she has a chic taste in fashion. Her elegance keeps many eyes on her, but that's not what's most captivating about Moza. She has made a significant impact despite her position as the second wife of the previous Emir, Sheikh Hamad. She owns many assets in the United Kingdom, including Harrods, the Shard, and the Olympic Village. In 2012, she purchased Italy's Valentino fashion house for €700. Despite Moza's interest in fashion, she doesn't deviate from her Islamic roots. The 65-years-old says her style represents the tradition, even though it's modern and practical. She plays a significant role in Qatar. Her influence has transformed the state's social, political, and foreign alliances. Sheikha Moza has a strong hold on Qatar's rulership. The Queen Consort doesn't hold back on sharing her opinions on global issues. She has ruled from the royal courts for many years. However, Jawaher Sheikha seems to be stepping up. She is slowly coming into the spotlight. The First Lady is using the same strategy that her mother-in-law used to gain control in Qatar. What do they say? If you want to beat the champions, you must fight like them. Jawaher has learned the trick, and it seems to be working. While Sheikha Moza has been the master of the palace intrigue, her daughter-in-law seems to have caught on. The Queen Consort has always been daring. She always hits the targets she aims at. As the second wife of the previous Emir, she was able to convince her husband to pass the Emir baton to her son, Sheikh Tamim, instead of the children of the eldest wife. She broke tradition to give her son the position, something that rarely happens. It was one of the pivotal moments in the history of Qatar. Sheikha Moza knows the royal game. She has been at it since her marriage at age 20. It also means she can sense what Jawaher is onto. However, Jawaher is prepared. She understands that every step must be calculated and precise, as any wrong move could deprive her son of a chance of being the next Emir. It's why the First Lady has held her ground on being the public face you see all the time. She has kept the other wives from any opportunity to take part in public functions with the Emir. Tamim, her husband, might not know what's going on behind his palace walls. Perhaps he doesn't see that Jawaher is gaining ground and influencing his choice of the next Emir. In the past, he used to go on international visits alone. All that changed as Jawaher began executing her plans. Presently, the Emir and the First Lady have become a usual pair at public events. Jawaher is gaining global visibility and establishing her place as a force like Sheikha Moza. Do you think it will work out? Will Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani choose Jawaher's son as the next ruler of Qatar, the heavyweight of leadership? Qatar is a relatively small country that holds a lot of power and influence in the world. The country's wealth comes from its exploitation of oil and gas reserves. The country's size is not in the same proportion to its wealth, as the net worth of the Qatar state is estimated at $355 billion. This makes it one of the richest countries in the global space. A population of 3 million has enjoyed opulence and development under the reign of its leader. Despite having all these resources, Qatar had never been a tourist site. There were no grand records of visits by foreigners like their neighboring country, Dubai. The leaders have never invested in extravagant resorts or pivotal landmarks to attract tourists. They have been a small and conservative country. Things took a better turn in 2020 when they hosted the FIFA World Cup. The event brought global attention to Qatar, and people were captivated by the country's economy. Since Qatar's discovery in 1940, its economy has grown to be the third largest natural gas and oil producer in the world. Qatar has a high standard of living that favors its citizens. It also has the lowest tax rates in the world and boasts numerous monumental assets owned by the state. One such building is the Shard. It is the biggest skyscraper in the United Kingdom. Qatar also owns Harrods. This investment cost the state £1.5 billion in 2010. The country keeps evolving with several investments and a fast-growing economy. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani is one of the richest men in the world. He is the reigning monarch of Qatar. The Emir takes the position of the head of state amid the numerous threats from the notorious countries around them. His leadership has withstood the gimmicks of their fierce opponent. The Emir also holds strong ties with the United Kingdom. He became the Emir after the demise of his father in 2013. The young monarch has not only served his people, but also attracted formidable relationships for the state. He holds the country's highest office as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and custodian of Qatar's constitution. Sheikh Tamim has shown that age is not a barrier to experience and success with his smooth generational shift in leadership. Sheikh Tamim grew up in Doha and began his education there. After completing secondary school, he joined the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in England and was commissioned in 1980. When Tamim got back to Qatar, they joined the armed forces and earned the title of their appearance in August 2003. With his new title, he also became the Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Young Tamim was ready for royal duties as he supported his father's reign by taking on responsibilities as the future leader. Jawaher's son seems to be taking the same actions that led his father to become Emir. Does this mean Sheikha Jawaher's plans are set and running? The Emir has a strong character. He cannot be easily swayed. He has shown this trait from his resilience amid the war threats from powerful nations. Despite the power struggle in the palace, one thing is certain: the four wives live in luxury. The world knows the Emir as one of the richest men alive. His attempts to stay low and keep his wealth off the media didn't work as he continued to build a financial empire. The world realized how wealthy he was when he sold one of his private jets. The Emir has 14 private jets. The one he placed on sale had an exquisite residence as part of its interior. He sold it for $317 million. Do you know that Sheikh Tamim gifts private jets? close sources reported a luxury gift of $500 million private jet to the Turkish president. It was to show appreciation for Turkey's alliance during Qatar's conflict with Saudi Arabia. What more does the royal family own? They also control several yachts and palaces across the globe. The leaders in Qatar enjoy investing in global communities. It is one of the secrets to their lasting wealth. They have many luxury department stores in prestigious countries and have formed close relationships with global heads of state. Qatar might be a small country, but its impact is vast and resounding. Sheikh Tamim has built a firm reputation for Qatar since his reign in 2013. Despite the Emir's fame, one thing remains dear to his heart: his family. He has ensured that their privacy is a top priority. However, people cannot stop talking about his mother and the influence she has on him. They believe she's got a strong grip on the Emir and controls his decisions. Others say he walks in her shadow and only does what she permits. This makes it a tough challenge for Sheikha Jawaher. Her decision to go up against the Queen Consort may turn sour, considering the reputation Moza has built for centuries. What lies ahead for the future of the Qatar Emir? How will these four wives overcome the challenges before them? Well, that decision is left to Sheikh Tamim and maybe his mother. Let's hope the formidable Sheikha Moza takes the future of Qatar into consideration when she makes her pick. What do you think about the silent battle at Qatar's royal palace? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.